Who is your supervisor?
I think I'm gonna have to call security.
I'm gonna ask to see your supervisor.
Okay, I'm in charge of this office, so
All right.
I'm the supervisor.
There is no right-of-way. You're following them to trespass. I'd like them to leave my property.
I'm just doing as I'm told. I'm here by my chief of police.
I understand. I talked to him yesterday. I told him there's no right-of-way.
He's the one I'm...
They need to leave.
He's the one I'm going to direct you to speak to.
They need to leave now.
He's the one I'm going to direct you to
They
speak
need to leave now, man.
Today's first video is coming to us from Aaron Curry, and it's taking place in Howell, Michigan. Also, it involves the City of Howell Police Department. Aaron Curry was once again at odds with local police. He had been squabbling with the City of Howell, Michigan, over rights to a property for years. He thought he would finally have his day in court to sort it all out legally, but nothing seemed to be working. City workers often passed over onto his land without permission. They sometimes parked on his land, which didn't help matters much. Aaron had already complained both to the city and to the police, but the chief of police seemed to do pretty much as he pleased, often sending officers to patrol the area and ride along with city workers.
They need to leave. I'm asking you for your help. You're the
I'm only
police.
here to keep the peace.
No, that's not accurate.
You guys have a civil issue going on.
I don't
know
have a
too
civil
much
issue.
about that. I know you talked to my chief yesterday.
Have them leave. I'll take the poles down.
That's something you guys can work out together. I'm not going to sit here and get in between it.
You're not going to sit here and let me protect my own personal property?
One day, Aaron decided to tape the next contact he would make with police, as he felt that his grievances were not being heard for long enough. An officer came onto his property to monitor a situation where city workers were. Aaron approached him and asked the city workers to leave his land immediately. The officer listened attentively and explained that he was just there obeying the orders of his superior, and that this was a civil issue Aaron had to handle in other ways. Even when Aaron declared that those employees were trespassers, the officer said he did not take direct action, not meddling with the matter.
Ma'am, this is my private property.
But right there, I know you have a thing going on with the city and
I have
everything,
nothing going on. That gate isn't blocked, it's unlocked. Why are they on my property, taking my personal property?
I'm not gonna...
What's your name and badge number, please?
Sergeant Briggs, my badge number is 12.
Thank you.
Sorry.
I'm not going to ask you to have them leave.
No, I just...
I filed a police report with the Livingston County
I'm
Sheriff,
only-
which is the jurisdiction here.
I'm only here-
They need to leave. I'm
only here to keep the
asking you
peace.
for your help. You're the
I'm only here
police.
to keep the peace.
No, that's
You guys-
not accurate.
You guys have a civil issue going on.
I don't have a
know too
civil
much
issue.
about that. I know you talked to my chief yesterday.
Have them leave. I'll take the poles down.
That's something you guys can work out together. I'm not going to sit here and get in between it.
You're not going to sit here and let me protect my own personal property?
As the conversation went on, Aaron became irritated. He reminded the officer that, being law enforcement, he was there to maintain peace, and by allowing the workers to stay on his land, he was, in fact, condoning a violation of Aaron's rights. He persisted, instructing Aaron to contact the Livingston County Sheriff, since he would be responsible for their end. Aaron did get cynical, protesting with increasing frustration against the exploitation by the city and its unfair treatment of him. That, however, didn't break into the officer's composure, as he communicated throughout the encounter.
You're the City of Howell Police. You're a sergeant.
I'm not going to go back and forth with you.
Fine, then call the Livingston County Sheriff, who has jurisdiction
You can call the sheriff.
in Marion Township.
You can call the
I've
sheriff.
called them, and they said it's a civil dispute. And these guys are coming out to pull down my shit. And I've told you not to trespass on my property. You need to fucking leave. Do you understand? I'm on my property.
Can you stop yelling?
No, they need to leave.
Please. I get that you're upset. I understand. Please. Please.
I think, yeah, we're going to just leave. We're
Good.
not going to deal with this.
Thank
everything.
you. Thank you. That's all I asked
Obviously,
for
it's
yesterday.
not over, obviously.
I understand
You are
that.
working with the city. You
Yep.
can continue to work with the city.
Thank you.
We'll just leave.
Thank you. Thank you. And thank you.
I'm
I
not trying to
apologize.
get off on bad blood or anything like here.
But this is bad blood. This is bullying. This is the city trying to take advantage of a system. I don't know who they're in bed with the Motorsports Gateway, with the dicks out here from Novi, but this is garbage. I've taken him the information.
Their last
okay.
name is the dick.
You're okay.
But they bully us. They clearly bullied us.
Again,
It's corrupt.
Thank you for keeping your calm and your cool when I'm not, and I understand
I
that.
understand that you're.
Don't let them do
I
it.
understand that you're frustrated. I get it, and I get there's a whole thing going on. I don't know much about it. Okay.
Right.
They
They can't. They don't have
And it's,
paper
you're
for
just
food, they need
a
to quit
public
touching
servant.
our
Thank you
stuff.
for your
So,
service, and I apologize.
So I hope your day goes a little bit better than it is right now. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank
All
you.
right.
Throughout the ordeal, Aaron claimed that he felt the city was corrupt and they were harassing him using underhanded tactics. Still, he is quick to point out the fact that the officer was professional and comfortable even under the tension. He indicated that before he left, the officer apologized for the frustration and recommended that he continue working with the city to find a resolution. This was when Aaron kept hammering on how his rights were being trampled. He quoted the Fourth Amendment to the people, which protects them from unreasonable searches and seizures, wherein law enforcers cannot enter private property without some form of probable cause or a warrant. To him, the police occupying his land breached that constitutional right and made him feel he must not budge.
Hey,
Hello, sir.
good, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good, I'm Mike.
Curry.
Nice to meet you.
I'm a CPL holder, so you know. I know.
Carrying my building?
I'm not. I'm redneck, but I'm not that redneck.
What's up?
So, here's a copy of London County Sheriff's.
Don't need it.
Okay. I filed a police report last week. Here's a copy of my public records data. I'm in Marion Township.
Yep.
Okay. The city police were on my property this morning, pulling out stakes that my legal counsel had asked me to install.
Okay. You have been informed, as has your legal counsel been informed.
Not this legal counsel.
Who's your legal counsel
They're out
now?
of West Bloomfield.
Okay, well,
They're going to be in contact.
okay, Brewer's been advised, so if he's not your counsel anymore, then you guys do whatever you gotta do.
Yep.
You have an issue with the city. There's no issue with us. The police did not pull your stuff.
No, they
Actually, the
stood
police-
by and
Correct.
blocked my approach.
And they trespassed 3 times.
And they were sitting on my property this weekend.
Yeah.
I was the one that was there.
Okay.
And they're not sitting on your property. They're trying to go do what they're supposed to do and go check Motorsports Gateway, which they do every day, and which they've been doing for the last how many months.
Motorsports Gateway property does
Oh,
not
hang on
attach.
hold on just a moment.
But the city's also
Wait a minute. Every single day you've been back there for how long?
the city's been checking Motorsports Gateway daily for a long time.
Through that entrance.
I don't know if they go there or if they go off Lucy Road. There's 2 accesses.
Well, I can tell you they don't go through there because I have 2 cameras pointing directly.
I know. I
at it.
see all your social media.
Okay. We're not taking it.
My position while
Yes.
we were there
Okay.
was to be neutral.
Okay.
The city has easement access off through that property.
Can
You can debate that with the city. The state's already confirmed it. Everybody else has already confirmed it.
Okay.
I'm not there to debate where your property line is. I'm
Okay.
not an engineer.
All right.
I was
Yeah.
a stupid Marine.
And it's right.
So,
Thank you for your service.
I'm not there to debate that.
So that's a civil.
My job was to say,
that's a
if
civil
you were
issue.
there, my job was to say, you can't attack them and they can't attack you.
Okay.
So that's what
Even
we
though
were
it's
there.
the
So how come
sheriff's
you guys
jurisdiction.
didn't make contact with me?
I didn't need to. You're in Marion Township. I didn't need to. What they were doing was on city right away.
That is disputed.
Okay, and it is, but you're not going to battle this out with me.
No, I
you
understand.
have, you have
I'm trying to
right.
understand. I don't want to go to jail.
You
It's a
have
civil matter.
and
We'll
you
settle it that
have
way.
the city attorney that you deal with on this matter.
Yes.
Those are the 2 that you deal with.
Okay.
My purpose of having a car there was to make sure that you didn't run out and attack somebody, and that nobody ran, and that none of our
It's
guys
not going to happen.
ran out and attacked
Yes,
you.
right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
We were neutral party. That is our job. That's the police's job. It's not to take sides. We're standing there and go, nobody.
Good.
This-
So if I continue to put it up every day,
It's
then
gonna-
you're not going to arrest me.
You're probably. I know you already talked to Murph because you talked to him 5 minutes before I talked to him, and he told you
Yep.
it's
But
a civil matter.
But then the city police showed up, which told me it's not a civil matter.
The city police didn't show up to take your stuff. The
Okay.
city police showed up to make sure our DPW workers didn't get attacked.
Okay.
That is all that we were there for.
All right.
And we were not. Cool, you guys need anything?
Right. You're not.
I don't know what the big battle is.
You're not dumb.
I don't know
and
what
I
your.
appreciate it.
I don't know what your whole.
So the state of Michigan said it's dangerous for people to be pulling in and out of there, and the what they're calling a right of way is now being overburdened by bringing through construction trucks.
Okay.
Tandem axle, gravel haulers,
Yeah.
low boys, right out in the middle of D19. The state of Michigan Department of Safety, MDOT, Michigan Department of Transportation ahead, Southeast Michigan, sent Irv a letter that said, look, this is not safe. Do not use that for
And
access.
that's what Irv needs to deal with them. This is a civil matter. You got to go to
We're
court.
good, yeah.
Go to court.
We're not gonna
All
go
right.
round and round.
No.
Thank you.
I go to court. I hope you guys can get an answer because I hate to see
You will.
you guys have to battle this stuff out for no reason.
Whether it's a win or loss, we will get an answer.
Yep.
Thank you.
All right, no problem.
Then we can get the trespass.
More broadly, from the incident, a lesson was, when confronted with unwanted law enforcement presence on private property, it's crucial to stay calm while defending your rights. A recording of the encounter and, more clearly, saying that the officers do not have permission to be present are very critical if the situation degrades into further conflict. While Aaron managed to keep his cool in this instance, the fact that his legal battle against the city was still in process indicated that there probably were more confrontations in store for him. Finally, the exchange worked as another reminder of how important it is to know and exercise rights, even in the face of opposition. For Aaron, it wasn't just a case of standing up for his land. It was a matter of making sure that, no matter how difficult the situation became, law would be respected. In our next video, a tense standoff ensued between Gem County deputies Brian Pike and Alfredo Villatoro and Ammon Bundy as they sought to serve him with court papers.
Huh? No, he's not. There's the back office right here. There's a back office here. I don't see anybody here. I'm gonna walk around. Mr. Bundy, I have some papers for you. I can't see him from that side. I didn't see him.
The deputies were trying to find Bundy on his property. They walked around his home, even peering in windows in search of him. Of course, they weren't ignored.
He's probably sitting in that corner right there.
Can you not see?
I can't see from the angle there.
Is there? Let's go to the side windows. Because if we see him, maybe just show him fingers.
Can you see anything?
I think he went out that door.
To where?
Split. That door right there.
Well, we would have seen him if he went up into his,
He was standing right here.
Look, is that his hat right there? He's got to be behind that thing right there. See the hat right there? Yep. I'm gonna go back and check on the other side.
Hey, man, we have papers for you. We're just gonna put them on the front step, okay?
Already frustrated by what he perceived as continued rights violations, Bundy had stopped the deputies as they continued to search his property and told them sternly that they would do better to leave immediately because they didn't have any right to act like they owned the place. Though the deputies acted quite calm and tried to keep their professionalism, Bundy did not restrain his anger and always reminded them that the land belonged to him and not to the police. Though they briefly acknowledged his demands, Bundy made it clear that he was really serious about his private property. The deputies were there in compliance with the order from the authorities to serve him with legal papers related to a lawsuit. Despite the increased pressure, Bundy insisted on his stand, warning them against coming back and keeping off his property. He had complained to them about their presence and the court wrangle to which he was subjected, while labeling the authorities as law enforcement agents who had overstretched their police powers and served on high horses.
All right, sir.
Bastard, get off my property and don't come back again.
All right.
I'm serious. You don't get to walk around here and act like you own the damn place. I bought the place, not you.
Yes, sir.
Stay the hell off my property.
Will do.
Get the hell off my property. Stay off my property. No, I don't. You're on my property. Get the hell in your truck again. No, get off of my property. Yeah, you guys are a bunch of pricks coming in here.
Okay.
You know what's going on now?
I don't indulge myself in your own paperwork,
Well,
okay?
maybe you ought to figure out what's going on.
It's not my business. You have a good
It
rest
is
of your day, okay?
You made it about your business.
All right, you have a good rest of your day, all right?
Don't come back.
It highlighted in general an issue of private property rights. One needs to be balanced with the issue of police accountability. Bundy, a man well known for his role in the 2016 Malheur National Wildlife Refuge occupation, had a history of finding himself at the center of legal and political controversies. His current dispute in Gem County, Idaho, demonstrates his deep-seated belief in individual liberties and constitutional rights. Though confrontational, Bundy's confrontation with the deputies brought attention to concerns arising regarding their duty to enter upon private property and thereby serve legal notice without violating rights. As the deputies ultimately retreated, leaving his papers on his doorstep, Bundy continued to uphold his opinion that their actions were an overreach of governmental power. The whole thing immediately sparked debate on how far the police can tread on private property without a warrant or even probable cause. In Bundy's case, he regarded it as directly violative of his rights, a position with which many sympathizers share for their concerns about government overreach and the preservation of constitutional liberties. It was, however, the third element that brought everyone to the bargaining table, that need for dialogue on police accountability. Police brutality incidents in the recent past had made most people keen on transparency and respect for individual liberties. That tussle between public safety and private freedoms remained a stubborn contest. It was exactly the challenge which both Bundy and the deputies were forced to confront and cut loose. As this very legal situation developed, nobody knew how the courts would treat Bundy's claims of government overreach. The case would establish precedent in similar future legal battles in which private rights to property versus police authority will persist in many minds as a question of how such a delicate balance will be struck. Finally, in our today's last encounter, we have this video coming to us from Joseph Martinez.
Badge numbers, please.
We don't have badge numbers.
Okay, I need cards then. It's department policy to identify. Where's Vern?
We've already identified ourselves.
No, you didn't.
Merced County Sheriff's Office, Aguilar.
What do you guys want?
We're here to talk to Rick and we see that somebody's...
You're on private property right now.
On a farm property outside of Merced, California, a tense standoff unfolded after deputies from the Merced County Sheriff's Office, Aguilar, Mobley, and Lemons, reportedly arrived at the private property of man Joseph Martinez to serve for a warrant for a person who is not a resident at the property. It turned into a hot situation when Joseph, a First Amendment auditor, asked them why they were on his private property. Joseph kept asking them their names and badge numbers. The officials only provided them with their names, but declined to give their badge number. This was just firing more fuel in that fire. Joseph told them that departmental policy requires proper identification, and they are trespassing. They refused to leave, stating that they were investigating something on the property.
You guys need something? Oh, I don't answer questions. I'm a First Amendment auditor. You know me. You can stay off the property, though. This is private property. Let's get off the fence a little bit. Yeah, you guys know me. No, you can stay off the property, sir. This is private property. Name and badge number, please. Name and badge number, Mobley. No, my name is Joseph, and I'm not going to identify any further than that. Your name is Mobley. Your name is Aguilar. Your name is T. Lemons? Lemons. Okay, badge numbers, please.
We don't have badge numbers.
Okay, I need cards then. It's department policy to identify. Where's Vern?
We've already identified ourselves.
No, you didn't.
Merced County Sheriff's Office, Aguilar.
What do you guys want?
We're here to talk to Rick and we see that somebody's...
You're on private property right now. I don't answer questions. I'm a First Amendment auditor. You guys know I'm not going to answer questions. Okay? The only question I answered was my name to alleviate any belief that I might be the person you're looking for. Further than that, you're trespassing currently on private property. I'm asking you repeatedly to leave, sir.
In this instance, Joseph informed the deputies that he had no responsibility to assist them in their investigation and threatened them further with the fact that his property was becoming too small for them and that their presence on his property would prompt serious legal actions against them. He cautioned them that any infraction from their side would mean stripping him off his qualified immunity. Instead, according to him, any infraction would have him taking action against them not only at the department, but against their individual assets as well. He was well aware of the law and what his rights were. He insists, telling them how they are above the law.
I don't care. That has nothing to do with me. Stop what you're doing, Mobley. Okay? First thing I'm going to do is file a complaint against each of you individuals if you try anything. Next thing I'm going to do is prove that you weren't acting in the legal capacity as an officer, because you don't have a search warrant to be on this property. And that's going to allow me to remove your qualified immunity. The next thing I'm going to do after that is go after each and every one of your private assets. You're not going to violate me. Well, you keep stepping in, and I keep telling you you're on private property, and I keep asking you to back up, okay? I'm not going to go after your departments. I'm going after your private assets when I remove your qualified immunity. You're not going to violate me. All officers have qualified immunity. I'm a First Amendment auditor. That's in Colorado.
SB2.
That's in Colorado. That's in Colorado. Don't play silly duck games on me. That's Colorado.
So who's in the house? Who's staring at us?
I don't answer questions. You know that. I'm telling you to get off my private property.
So, right now, who's in the house?
I don't answer questions, you know that.
Identify where investigating.
It's irrelevant. I'm not involved with your investigation, and I have no duty whatsoever to serve you in your investigation. I have no duty whatsoever to serve you in your investigation. No, I'm not. Hindering is a physical act. No.
The standoff at this point reached a deadlock when Joseph placed himself between the deputies and his property line, ordering them out. It is in this process that the deputies arrest him and charged him with Penal Code 148A1, obstructing a peace officer. Joseph, however, argued that he had committed no offense and that his arrest was unjust, as he did not in any way hinder their investigation at gunpoint, but merely exercised his right to protect his property from what he held was an unlawful intrusion. The incident raised grave questions about the conduct of the deputies. They neither obtained a search warrant, nor had they confirmed that it was the right address, and many contended that they had exceeded their authority. The question of police overreaching and the extremely delicate balance between law enforcement responsibilities and rights on private property brought to light by Joseph's decision to claim his rights and not to yield. Although Joseph may have believed he made a grave mistake during the transaction, the audience was convinced he did the best anyone could have done under the circumstances, particularly with the added intimidation. He had asserted his constitutional rights amply by demanding they produce identification as deputies, by ordering them off private property, and by refusing to obey their orders. His acts have since opened up a debate on how far a policeman can go without a warrant, and the need to hold those officers accountable if they are found violating citizens' rights. After the incident, Joseph made preparations to file complaints against all deputies who had attended and acted, and was preparing to take legal steps for filing appeals against the arrest. The case reminded all of the often discussed issue of law enforcement accountability and citizen rights to safeguard their properties against unlawful searches or arrests. Given its wide circulation after the event, this video attracted much interest from pro-individual rights advocates and those who hold that law enforcement agencies need more intense scrutiny. Many praised Joseph for his boldness in speaking up on issues affecting thousands of Americans.
Following the resolution of his sentence and probation, he actively sought information regarding the security expenses for the stadium. His investigation directed him to the Erie County Wrath Office, which in return steered him to the Erie County Attorney's Office to formalize his inquiry.
I was going to say good morning. Thank you.
How you doing? I'm looking to do a FOIL request at the County Attorney's Office.
You can submit those in writing, online.
Yeah, I'd like to do one right here in person.
No, it's got to be written. FOIL request has to be written.
Like typed out, written?
I mean, if you want to write it down.
Yeah, I'd like to handwrite one down here and submit it right now.
Okay.
Can I get a form?
We don't. I mean, all of our forms are online, so we don't have a form.
Can you print me one up?
I mean, we can give you a blank sheet of paper if you want.
I guess that'll work.
Dan skillfully expresses his thoughts in a compelling document filled with intention and accuracy. He subsequently shares his creation with the clerk, a tangible representation of his dedication, and a silent narrator.
Can I just get a copy of that? Maybe it's timestamped and...
I mean, we can't give you a copy. You can timestamp it if you want.
Well, you timestamp it and you don't got a copy machine you can run through to give me a copy once it's timestamped?
No, can't give you a copy.
Why not?
Because it's our copy machine. And that's...
Your copy machine or our copy machine?
Yeah, we don't make copies here for members of the public, but I'm happy to stamp a receipt, right?
Mm-hmm. So you're going to refuse to make a copy?
Correct.
What's your name?
My name's Jeremy Toth.
Jeremy Toth, what do you do here?
Yeah, I'm done having this conversation. This is where we reach you?
There's an email address there and a mailing address there.
Okay, great.
So you're refusing to make a copy of that for me, Jeremy?
Yes. Correct.
What is your position here?
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't
Are you
matter?
done here?
No, I'm not.
Do we need to call security?
Security for what?
I'm asking you to leave.
Well, is this not publicly accessible, this office?
This is not a publicly accessible office.
How did the public be allowed to come up here?
Well, we took your. Is there going to be a problem?
Not if you would just give me a copy of that.
We don't make copies for people who walking off the street asking for a copy. That's not what we do here.
Why not?
Kinkos.
I'm not asking you to make copies of my personal stuff. I'm asking for a copy of that paper. It's not going to look good for you guys.
You don't make copies for
a FOIA request that I'm inserting?
Because you're supposed to put it online.
Who is your supervisor?
I think I'm going to have to call security.
I'm going to ask to see your supervisor.
Okay. I'm in charge of this office. So I'm the supervisor.
So you don't have a supervisor that
county executive? You can go across all the county executive's office, but I am going to call security.
You have a business card?
Nope.
You don't have nothing, huh?
No.
After Dan posted a thought-provoking YouTube video criticizing the county attorney, a surge of public outcry ensued, flooding the authorities with complaints. This heightened scrutiny triggered a reassessment of Dan's probation conditions, originally designed to restrict his recording and YouTube activities. Despite a judge dismissing these overly broad restrictions based on First Amendment rights, concerns lingered that the county attorney might persist in advocating for such limitations. Amidst this uncertainty, Dan chose to visit the Lockport Labor Department about a month after his encounter with the county attorney.
No, I don't need any help. I'm just here to take some photographs of the lobby. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm working on the Labor Department.
Okay, I don't know about pictures in here. Can you mind if I get approval real quick? I'm sure it's fine.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to double check, you're more than welcome to, but I'm telling you, it's all right.
This is our supervisor.
This is no, I was just wondering who she checked with to make sure it was all right that it was filming here, that's all.
We'd actually, it's not allowed.
What's not allowed?
So you can't film within the office. I'm gonna have to ask you to leave. If you want.
This office open? This office is open to the public?
It is.
Well, then there shouldn't be a problem.
What's your business?
Me?
Yes.
Oh, I'm just working on a story on the Labor Department here. Getting a view of what's available to the public.
Okay. Well, we have people that are responsible for media, so if you're interested, we can put you in touch with them.
Oh no, I don't need to talk to anybody.
Within the office.
I don't need to talk to anybody.
Okay. Well, I can't have you recording in the office.
Can I get your name?
Yep. My name is Jessica.
Jessica, where were you informed that it's not allowed to be filmed in here?
The public are not allowed to film inside of our office.
Well, I'm not going in your office. I'm just in the publicly accessible area.
I am going to have to ask you to leave.
Well, thanks for asking, but as soon as I'm done taking the photos of the publicly accessible areas, I'll probably be on my way.
Okay, well, you can leave or you can call the police.
I mean, if you need to call the police, you're more than welcome to, but the public's allowed to video record publicly accessible areas because of the First Amendment of the Constitution. Are the police on their way here?
They've been called. That's all I know.
I'll be able to do that.
Because I pretty much finished my business here. Maybe I don't know if I got this billboard here, but I don't want to run and leave if the police are coming. You know what I mean?
In just 10 minutes, a symphony of sirens announced the prompt arrival of law enforcement to the scene. The evolving narrative continued, with the police presence introducing a tangible tension into the atmosphere.
Why you here?
So it's not really how
trespass.
That's not how trespass law works in public.
Well, if they want you removed from the property, they can have. It's just like say you were in 7-Eleven or whatever.
No. 7-Eleven is not public. 7-Eleven is a private business.
Correct. How you doing, sir?
How you doing?
Good. So, if they don't want you here, what is the reason that you want to stay?
Well, what is the reason they want me to leave is the real question, because this is publicly accessible. It's open to the public, and I'm just here in public.
I understand that.
But we're not going to drag out of here in cuffs or anything.
Yeah,
I mean, that's
of course not, because I'd have to break a law to be put in the handcuffs. So.
Who called this in?
Supervisor Jessica.
Can I talk to you privately just to see what's going on here? Okay. I'll be right with you, okay?
The atmosphere stayed cordial among the officers until Officer Stahl withdrew for a confidential discussion with the management in the secluded back rooms. Upon his return, a noticeable shift in dynamics became palpable. At first.
So, I think the main concern was just people's privacy.
Yeah, I'm not
and I understand you seem like you have a little bit of respect for people's privacy.
Yeah.
It is a public place. Back here is not public. Okay, that's by appointment only. So if you have an appointment, that's one thing. If you don't, that's something different. Are you almost finished?
Yeah, I'll probably leave right after you guys.
Okay, all right. Can I grab your information? Are you willing to give me that?
No, I don't wish to waive my Fourth Amendment right.
I figured as much.
But if I could get a CAT number or a call number for this?
Well, as soon as we get the report done, you're more than welcome to come down and get it, sir.
All right.
Okay?
So you have no call numbers that you guys were
I don't
dispatched?
have it on me. It's in my computer.
When you guys go out, I'll follow you out. If you guys are ready to leave, I'm pretty good too.
Yeah,
I got all the information. As long as they understand that it's a constitutional right and they can't remove somebody from
you can. I'm not forcibly removing you from anywhere.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Let's go out there and get that number.
You can stop down at the station.
I got all the information I need here.
Okay, that's fine. We still have to talk to a couple people here. And then if you want to wait. Hold on one second. 10-4. You can stop down. We can give you any report you need, okay? Okay. Thanks for your time.
At first, the officer seemed reluctant to furnish Dan with the call number, possibly intending to create obstacles for him. Despite this resistance, Dan persevered, accompanying the officers with determination until he secured the essential call number needed for his request for body camera footage.
You guys don't have a report number, but you guys definitely have a call number on the computer. I can get that call number now so I can reference this easier?
You can go down to the station. You can go down.
You're not going to give that call number out?
No, I'll give you down to the station when we complete the report, sir. I have no problem doing that.
What about you, sir? Can I get that call number for this?
It's the same sort of thing.
Well, I know, but you guys got a call here on the computer.
Yes, you can foil the report, but I'm more than happy to give you the report. Okay?
See if I can get that call number myself.
Open that door, okay?
See if I can't get that call number since you guys want to not be even, you know.
Thank you.
That was a simple request to get that call number.
It was, but the report's not complete. You want sufficient evidence or whatever you're doing? We'd be more than happy to provide that.
Well, all I'm asking for is a call number. It's nice and easy to reference a call number versus that.
You want the report, though?
Well, yeah, but I can't get that right now, and you agree I can't get that right now.
Sir, I was more than happy to help you, okay? But I think you're being difficult.
This incident starkly illustrates gaslighting, a manipulative strategy employed by the unprofessional officer. Pretending to be courteous, the officer deviously impeded Dan's access to vital information required for the report and body camera footage, fostering a confusing and obstructive situation.
Number is not difficult. That's something to reference this by.
I don't even know if that's the right call.
I don't. That's why you should just give it to me now.
I don't know what it is.
You don't have a call number to come here. Now you get dispatched down here.
Not until I get the report done. Okay, I have no problem giving you that report as soon as you come down and get it.
Did you mute your body camera while you're in there talking?
Everything is on here, sir.
All right, thank you.
Okay? Is there anything else I can help you with today?
No, that's it.
Okay, you have yourself a good day.
Thank you.
Dan called the number to verify the details before proceeding to the municipal building the next day. Once there, he formally requested both the body camera footage and the comprehensive report.
I got a FOIL request to turn in here.
Pardon?
A FOIL request? Thank you very much.
Good day.
In an unexpected turn of events, Officer Dan's quest for justice faced a setback when the city-county attorney denied his request for records, contrary to the initial assurance given by the officer. Undaunted, Dan enlisted the assistance of the determined Jeremy Toth, who worked to modify Dan's probation terms amidst charges of harassment and disorderly conduct. Speculation circulated that the officers might be attempting to hide evidence of collusion in the body camera footage. Despite this obstacle, Dan persevered, challenging the denial at the Municipal building, unwittingly stepping into a complex web of concealed motives and secrets, setting the stage for a compelling legal confrontation.
Yeah, I'm here to appeal the denied FOIL request.
Are you familiar with the appeal process?
Yeah.
Okay, so do you have the written document?
Yeah, I wrote an appeal up here. I got the original one here. If I could, what I did here is I got the appeal written here.
Okay.
I have the original acknowledgement letter, a copy of that attached to it, and I have the denial there. If you could just timestamp the appeal and give me a copy of the appeal. I don't need a copy of all the other the other 2 pages. I think that's a little irrelevant. Who they were compiled for? They're public records. They're public records, right?
I can't speak any further. That's gone through legal at this point. I'll send it back and we'll get more information. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
At 12:15, he inquired with the department to receive the latest information on his appeal. feeling a bit anxious as the 20-day deadline had passed.
No, I'm not. I don't need any help at this time.
No meeting?
No.
Okay. Go through it. Did you need something?
You guys go ahead.
Well, I don't want to be recorded.
No.
Can I help you? Sir, can you just go down the house so I can help son?
I'm just here to. I'm here to observe the city being sued. That's all.
I know, but the customers don't want to come to the counter because you're here.
I don't want to be recorded, mister.
Hi, Caroline. My name's Samantha. I'm a process server. I'm just here to serve you with a lawsuit. That's it.
Dan politely approached Emily Stoddard, who was standing nearby, and made a courteous request for a copy of the video she had captured.
A video with her phone?
Okay.
I'd like the full request of that video.
I can give you.
Yeah, do you want to grab my full request? And I just need her name. Hopefully we won't have to sue you guys for that too.
In the midst of public outrage sparked by a video revealing the discourteous behavior of civil servants, Dan becomes the target of unfounded accusations from 4 women in the office who falsely accuse him of second-degree harassment. Despite having legitimate reasons for visiting the municipal building, Dan now faces 4 charges of harassment and is preparing for an upcoming trial. Concurrently, he filed a lawsuit to retrieve withheld body camera footage, potentially leading to another civil lawsuit for malicious prosecution. Undeterred by baseless allegations, Dan is determined to uncover the truth and achieve justice in the face of challenges. Let's make a difference together. When we unite, we can change the system and ensure that corrupt cops face the consequences of their actions. Take action today to build a fair and safer community.
On July 24, 2021, Deputy Neil Rasasi of the Volusia County Sheriff's Office was dispatched to DeLand, Florida to refuel when he was alerted to a nearby motor vehicle accident with a verbal altercation. He responded to aid Officer Dia from the DeLand Police Department. As the incident occurred, 59-year-old George Nathanson, who was hard of hearing, started recording the officers. The incident was captured by Deputy Rasasi's body-worn camera.
Here's this guy.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hey, I appreciate it, but we're right now. Yep. Nope. Sir, I'm going to ask you to leave. Nope, sir. I'm going to ask you to leave. Right now, you're in the middle of our investigation. I'm going to ask you to leave. You're making this a lot harder than it has to be. You need to get off. Sir, right now, this is our investigation. You're in our investigation. Have a nice day. You can stand over the sidewalk over there.
The officers were busy conducting their investigation when they realized there was Nathanson filming in the area. Deputy Rasasi directed him to leave the scene of the investigation for distracting their investigation process. Nathanson attempted to leave, but the deputy further escalated the issue by being frustrated and demanding Nathanson move away. He, on repeated instances, told Nathanson that he should leave the location and warned that if this does not happen, then he will be arrested. Rasasi's tones appear to have reflected a sense of no patience because he said that Nathanson was making them work harder.
Just make some.
He's the one that's trying to start the YouTube channel.
That's fine. Make some action so we can get out of here. I'm going to go ahead and put this guy in handcuffs if he's not going to get off our scene.
How do you need to
Routine. All right, I'm going to get this guy off. Hey, sir, listen to me. I'm asking you to please get off our scene. Take your stuff. You can get off our scene or I'm going to put you in handcuffs and I'm going to take you to jail. All right? You need to go, okay? Thank you. Right now, we're not going to have this conversation. You want to talk to me after we're done with our investigation? You can. But don't interfere with what we're doing over here. Thank you. Do not interfere with what we're doing over here.
In fact, Deputy Rasasi decided to put Nathanson under handcuffs, positing that he hadn't respected the officer's request to stay away. Nathanson was filming from a safe distance. The question, therefore, might have been if his right to record police activities in public had been violated. This incident brings forth possible First and Fourth Amendment rights infringements.
Hey, that guy, he's trying. Is he leaving?
No, if he interferes one more time, he's going to go to jail.
He's the boy. You familiar with that guy?
I think I've heard it before,
okay, yeah,
but
he tries to walks up to cars and films shit and everything. This is a whole clusterfuck, and it's longer than it needs.
Sir, do not step back over here again. I'm telling you, if you come back in our vicinity, I will take you to jail. Step back. Step back. No, go ahead. No, go ahead. Put your phone down. I'll get it. 6234 man. Show me white male obtain.
10-4, do you still need signal for 5?
Routine.
10-4, 62.
I've asked you to stay off our scene. No, you're not staying off our scene. You're interacting, and I asked you to stay.
Despite the tension, Nathanson tried to explain his needs, but Rasasi was very fussy about his power. The deputy continued to claim that Nathanson was preventing them from discharging their duties, though Nathanson was walking away from them. The deputy informed Nathanson that he would hold him if he didn't leave the premises, since they were already facing a stressful situation.
Have a seat. I'll speak to you in a minute. Have a seat. How do you communicate? This all you need? Okay. Here, I'll tell you what. Listen to what I'm telling you, okay? I've asked you not to interfere. Nope, I asked you not to interfere. You ended up communicating over here when I told you you couldn't. Then you continued to pass the line in the sand when I asked you not to. Okay, we're not going to play this game. I understand what you're trying to do, but right now we already have enough tension going on with what's going on over here. Do you understand that? Okay, so right now you need to just respect what we're doing, okay, and we're going to go from there. All right, stand up. Just put your hand on top of your head as soon as I take the handcuff out, okay? Just keep it on your head for me. Go ahead and have a seat back in the car. Have a seat back in the car.
I would like the supervisor.
Okay, have a seat.
Deputy Rasasi did summon a supervisor to report the occurrence. However, his testimony conflicted with the body camera footage. He testified that he instructed Nathanson not to cross a line that he had drawn in the ground, telling Nathanson that he was ignoring the warning. The video revealed, however, that he told Nathanson simply to stay on the sidewalk and keep away from the investigation. The video directly contradicted Rasasi's statement that Nathanson had approached police vehicles after being instructed to step back. Nathanson stepped back and kept his distance.
Yeah, you guys in the area, or any of you in the area? All right. There's a gentleman who was coming up on our scene while we're dealing with a traffic accident, and he's trying to video and film us. I asked him to step back. He starts interacting with our victim suspect or the vehicle accident. I asked him to not interact or interfere, step back past the line. He's still over here trying to film us. He's detained in the back seat of my car while we're conducting our business here on the traffic stop. He's requesting a supervisor. Delta 9. Or I'm sorry, Delta 14. Yeah. Yes, sir.
Because she's at fault.
I didn't. I asked him not to pass the line. He's coming over here. I tell him that we're not to interact over here. He's coming over. He's getting up to our cars, filming us while we're trying to do what we're doing. I asked him, please step back. I'll talk to him afterwards. And he's still trying to interact with us, so I detained him because it's getting a little ridiculous.
In the process of such an encounter, Deputy Rasasi had called Nathanson a pest, saying that there was no need for him to be there. He had told one person that Nathanson was talking to people about the accident, but in reality, Nathanson was there filming quietly from a public sidewalk. The deputy's desire to control the scene eclipsed the legal rights given to citizens who wish to record police conduct.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I just have him detained right now. I don't really care. I mean, I'll take him to jail, but right now I'm just trying to get done what we're doing because we've got parents showing up. Both subjects are arguing back and forth, and everybody. He was not. He just showed up to film us. He's got his little information. He wants to hand us while we're on the scene, and he's a guy who can't talk. He has to use a machine to talk. So I don't know if you're familiar with him. So it looks like we're about ready to be done here, and I'm good to set him free, but at the end of the day, I mean, that's just where we're at right now. Yep, 10-4. All right, thanks. All right.
Driving unregistered, uninsured, what about the traffic cause? Crossing over 3 lane from fair to grant fair to you.
Yeah.
I think if careless driving.
Yep. I am recording all the time. So.
I don't care.
No, fair enough. Just letting you know. I'm sorry?
What are you doing with this dude?
Well,
did you let him go?
It's up to him. I mean, I'll get him for obstruction, but right now I'm just trying to make sure that we don't have all these people coming over to us. Hey, Rizachi. Yeah. Yeah. Hold on. I think it was trying to hook up my car. Yeah, so it was a signal 4. I was at the gas station getting a drink, and there was a signal 4 involving looks like a gray Chrysler. Yeah, and then shortly after that, some gentleman shows up. He's got a speech issue. He can't talk. He has to talk by using a machine. So he comes over. He's literally right up to the door of my car, filming up in there, and he's just some Joe citizen. Has nothing to do with this situation or this accident. I told him to step back, that he is impeding our investigation, and he will be placed in handcuffs. He needs to step back. And he's telling me, I can't say he's telling me, he is holding up a sign, and I kind of know what his deal is, but he's not rapid to move. So I escorted him to the sidewalk, and I said, you can stay over here, you can film us as much as you want, but do not cross the line over here. We're doing an investigation. I do not need you interacting, because then he goes and he's interacting with the people in the accident. So he's over there interacting with them. So I told him, do not come back, do not interact, do not cross my line, or I will put you in handcuffs. And so he does, and I go ahead and put him in handcuffs and escort him to the car. But yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, right now I'm good with, as long as I can get him for obstruction, but right now I just wanted to make sure that everything is safe here so Delta 14 can do his investigation. And as long as he's not, I mean, if you know, yeah, he's detained right now. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay. Yes, sir. Will do. Yes, absolutely. I agree. Thanks. Are you coming out here? No need to, right? Perfect. Sounds good. Yes, sir. All right, so here's the deal, all right? You are going to be placed under arrest for obstruction, okay? Listen to me, all right? If you have a complaint or if you want, you can talk to him. Listen to me. You're not going to. Okay. Have a nice day.
Deputy Rasasi made the affidavit that Nathanson was blocking the investigation when he went forward toward the scene and failed to comply with a final order to step back. Contrary to this, body camera footage showed Nathanson was not obstructing the investigation and was exercising his First Amendment right to film the police. The video review indicated that the commands by Deputy Rasasi would have probably been unlawful under Florida law, as failure to comply with an illegal order does not amount to obstruction.
All right, sir, listen to what I'm going to tell you, okay? You're already hard enough to understand. I'm not going to sit here and have a conversation with you when every time I do, you talk over me. We're not going to do it, okay? So when we get to the jail, we can establish everything that you need. You need... Your stuff is in the car and you'll have it when we get to the jail. Do you need medics? Do you need medics? When you get to the jail, you can ask the nurse. They will have, yes they will, they'll have what you need. Okay. Sir, I asked you to step off the scene and to stop interacting. Okay.
After the arrest, Nathanson faced charges for obstruction, but was also of the offense of obstruction on August 21, 2021, following a review of the body camera footage. On June 14, 2024, Nathanson filed a complaint against Deputy Rasasi and Sheriff Billy Woods, accusing the deputy of twisting his arm and shattering his shoulder when he is taken into custody. The case is still pending, and Rasasi is said to be a former Marion County deputy, though nobody knows when he was released. In another case, it was April 18, 2024, Longview, Texas. A man had been stopped by police for speeding. He had not noticed it himself. He had driven 10 miles an hour more than his limit in his own driveway. The whole thing was caught on a body camera. An officer walked up to the vehicle and said he had stopped him because of his speed. He began to feel cornered, as if to say, why was this officer blocking the road, and told him that his wife would be returning home within an hour or so.
Hey, sir. I'm Officer Patrol, Longview Police Department. The reason for the stop is because you're going 50 back there on Bill Owens. Yeah, you got your driver's license, proof of insurance. Is this where you live?
You gonna block the road?
Yeah, it's
my wife's gonna be home in a minute. She's,
okay, you have your driver's license?
Well, yeah, but you gonna block the road and keep my wife out of the driveway? Is that like a reasonable thing for you to do? Blocking the road?
Okay.
Is that a reasonable thing for you to do? Block the road?
You have your driver's license?
Do you see me with my driver's license?
That's
Do you not?
card.
Oh, it's a credit card. Well, you got eyes so you can see yourself on the road, can't you?
Calm down, sir.
Are you standing on my goddamn property? I do whatever the I want here, son.
370.
Right here.
371. Roll me another one. Okay,
you ain't touching a goddamn thing of mine, boy.
To see it.
The you do. Take it from me then, boy, if you that badass about it.
Sir, what is your problem?
Then. My problem is you blocking the goddamn road. My wife's coming home. And what are you doing? Sitting here standing in the goddamn driveway.
Sir, this could be all be over.
Oh, it could be. You're right, it could be. Here's my fucking driver's license. You ain't handing it to you. You ain't handing you boy.
Sir, what is your problem?
The fuck is your problem standing in the goddamn driveway? Keep asking me the same dumbass question, motherfucker. I keep asking you the same dumbass question. Which one do you want to answer?
The driver was asked to show his license and insurance. The driver turned out to have a credit card, but instead of complying immediately, he persisted in pointing out that he was on his own property and could do as he pleased. He became very hostile, refusing to turn over his license and saying he didn't need it, as he was at home and the officer had no business asking for it. Though he argued that he was merely being asked to display his license and was not compelled to produce it, Texas law specifies that drivers are both statutorily and conclusively obligated to carry their licenses and to produce them when demanded by a peace officer. It was further established through court opinion that officers have a right to inspect a driver's license during a traffic stop, making the expectation of his producing it for inspection much firmer.
You have
right here.
Okay, you have your insurance?
Yeah, I sure do.
Okay.
You want to see it?
Yes, sir.
Oh, well, hell, that's what you ask a goddamn question that's relevant then, you dumb motherfucker. God damn it. Right there.
Okay, can I hear?
No, you ain't handing me a goddamn thing.
It.
The f you do, boy. Tell me one more goddamn lie. Lie to me again.
I need to
lie to me one more guy. You see it with your eyeballs, boy.
Give it to me.
You know. You know. The you say. You ain't handing you shit. I have to present it according to state law. Present. That's it. You want to look? Look. You don't? Off.
Sir, I need to run.
Right here.
I need to
figure it the out, you bald-headed little. Figure it the fuck out.
Okay, just calm down, sir.
You calm down. Get the out of here. You either do your goddamn job. I presented it as you requested. Now you want it or you not, boy?
Can you hand it to me?
No. Did I say I was gonna hand it to you the first time?
Okay, sir.
No, I didn't.
All right.
Well, then what the oh, your goddamn hearing, boy? When I said no the first, you must rape a lot of women, boy, because you don't know what the no means. Do you, boy?
What's the driver's license?
Shut the up. I don't answer questions. You want to look at it? Look at it. You don't?
So you're
figure
not,
it the out, bitch.
You're not going to give me your driver's
I will do whatever the I'm required by the law to do.
All right,
you want to look at
there,
it? Motherfucker, I'm on my goddamn property. You step the back. What the fuck's the matter with you?
What is your problem?
Motherfucker, do you want it or not?
I do.
Then shut the fuck up and look. You keep running your goddamn mouth, you fucking little sawed off bitch. God damn, I can't stand fucking pieces of shit pigs like you. You driving, blocking a goddamn driveway. You're too fucking get your piece of shit out of the road. Then you walk up here and you tell me you have to see my goddamn ID in your hand.
All right, sir.
The driver continued to contest the officer, claiming he was not going to give in to the request for his license. He appeared worked up over the situation and repeated all the irrelevant questions he felt the officer was asking him. The latter would not back down, but instead tried to meet the situation head-on by becoming a bit more forceful as the driver became more enraged. Eventually, he was ticketed for speeding. He was accused of going at an enforced speed rate of 50 miles per hour in a 40 mph zone. The driver reacted very poorly after being ticketed, conceiving the traffic encounter as unfair.
You want to check one?
Your ass with your qualified immunity, any of that shit. Now, you got a ticket or you got a not a ticket?
Yes, sir.
Great. Let's see it.
All right, give me 1 second. You all right?
Yeah, I'm good. What the fuck is your problem?
All right, sir.
10 stars and your goddamn gun don't make you a big boy.
You have a good contact number?
No. Don't you ever on me.
Okay. Are you employed?
Go yourself.
Is that a company or Inc?
That's some capital F yourself.
Okay.
Capital F. In case you spell neither. I know you dumb motherfucker got an education at the police force, but holy shit.
All right, sir. So today you're going to receive a citation for speeding, going 50 and a 40. I was just checked with my radar while we were moving. The court date is 5/7/2024 by 1 p.m. Here's all the court information to include the address, the phone number, and the website. Actually, you need to sign right here with X's. It's not a admission of guilt. It's just a promise to appear.
Go 371. Go ahead.
All right, sir.
Get the
have a better closing day.
Shit.
A stop will not be considered as improperly being extended beyond the amount of time necessary for the stop's original purpose unless some new, reasonable suspicion has arisen. Once a citation has been issued, legal justifications for continuing to detain the driver would have ended. Instead, the officers continued to engage with him and even went inside his house, which violated his rights based on the Fourth Amendment of unreasonable searches and seizures. After the officers entered his house and followed the driver inside, then they told him that he was wrong for not giving them a warrant. The driver inside asked them in amazement if it was right to be there without one, but otherwise felt that they were pushing in on him from every side. He wanted the officers off of his property, protesting his innocence with all his might.
I'm not lying. Hey, they're all, watch the dogs. They're all elderly. Here, grab dogs. And tell your mom. Okay?
Okay.
What's the warrant for, fellas? Come this way. What's the warrant for, fellas? Warrant, fellas.
I'll tell you in a second.
Now, you don't tell me right now. Get up. What's the warrant for, fellas? What's the warrant for, fellas? What's the warrant for, fellas? Hey, what's that warrant for? I wonder how many times they're going to hear me ask on the body camera when this is going to fucking court. I wonder. Anybody? Anybody? All right, over here. What's the warrant for, fellas? Looking up for y'all for investigation for evading. I'm sorry, what? For evading. Evading what? Me. I'm not evading you. Arrest me for what? You said what the warrant's for, you piece of shit. Get out of the patrol vehicle. I'm trying, you asshole. You got my twisted around. Patrol vehicle. I'm working on it, you little piece of shit. God damn it. What, your mama not raised you in any manners, or you just as dumb as your goddamn daddy was? Oh, way. 37, show him in custody.
Holy shit, man. That went sideways.
Inside, the officers start to raise their concern about his young daughter, who they must have felt was alone at home. He reassured them that his granddad is inside, where he is keeping an eye on her child, and assured them that he had conveyed with him that everything is all right and the child is perfectly safe. He dismissed all the officers' concerns about the safety of the child. As they chat through this tension, the driver continues about background experiences related to his partner's inner psychological battle. The driver described how recent health problems had altered his partner's behavior. Nevertheless, he made a point about how, although his partner can get overbearing sometimes, he still considered that, at heart, he is a good person.
Yeah. No, it's just a kid inside.
It's just a kid?
At home. Yeah. I think all I saw was a kid, and he said his wife was on his way home, her way home.
Hey, so your kid is here by herself? I thought that's one partner just said that you told him that your wife's on the way. How far out is she? Or is she here? I don't answer questions, Bill. It's hard. No.
Okay, we can call CPS. CPS for what? What's the CPS for, genius? You too stupid to understand she's not alone?
Here, I'll go.
Yeah.
So,
Alright.
I'm
Divorced?
yeah.
Okay. Nick, was there extra with you? That's supposed to be? Okay. So, he just got arrested for one hand.
So I don't want to make y'all uncomfortable. So I was just like, what?
Is there anybody inside the house with your daughter?
Yeah, my grandpa.
Grandpa?
Yeah, we're talking on the phone.
Okay.
Chit-chat.
Awesome. So the way you made it seem was she was all by herself. We just want to make sure.
Oh, no, my grandpa's right in there. He's watching us right now.
Okay.
Yeah, no, he just didn't hear very well, so he probably didn't. Oh, no, I had the doorbell undone. She did the dog. Yeah.
We just want to double check.
Nope, totally. Been talking to him right now. He asked what's for dinner.
And your ex doesn't live here?
Oh, gosh, no, he lives in, like, Carthage, DeBerry, out in the middle of freaking nowhere. And we only just hang out sometimes, so.
Okay. And he was, but they're okay with him being over here. He wasn't criminally trespassed.
Oh, no, he wasn't criminally trespassed. No, we broke up for a little while, but I didn't know nothing like that. Yeah, no, it was mutual, all good.
Yes,
and then, we're like just hanging out. He helps. I have a surgery on Monday. He's going to help me out. Probably not now.
Yeah.
So, all right. Thanks, y'all. No,
have the rest of your day. That's all.
How do I help him get out?
So, he gets 2 free phone calls. He'll be able to call you.
All right. Yeah.
So,
And this is, okay, it's Thursday. It's not a Friday.
Is he normally aggressive towards police?
He's normally aggressive towards everyone. Okay, so, and he didn't used to be like this. But it fucked up his brain. He's like this now. He's been seen by what's her name, the infectious lady downtown, Anita Scribner. He saw her for a while. He was on antidepressants for a while, and nothing just. So I just made him aggressive, though. He wasn't like this 8 years ago, but then when we found the infection and everything, it really fucked him up. Excuse my language, but yeah, screwed his liver up and all kinds of stuff. So.
Okay.
Yeah, which is why we don't, we're not like completely together and we don't live together anymore, but he is still a good person, you know what I'm saying? And so, and I know that because after talking with Miss Scribner and stuff, it's never going to be back. All we can do is do antidepressants and hope they work and things like that. So, but yeah, so that's a normal thing.
Even if the driver was uncooperative during the traffic stop, Texas law specifies that the proper course of action would have been to handle any subsequent legal actions, such as charges of obstruction, separately or by obtaining a warrant. If officers believed the driver had committed a separate offense during the interaction, they should have secured a warrant before re-engaging. The entry into his home without such authorization undermines the legality of their actions and raises questions about unlawful detention.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right. You have the rest of your day.
All right.
Okay. So.
We still rolling?
Yeah, I'm still rolling. I'm about to transport them.
Oh, yeah.
So, I didn't get a chance to check them. For weapons or anything. He did somehow manage to get his cuffs up in front of him. He was that skinny. So.
But you may have followed you to the jail?
As uncooperative as the driver was when he was detained, Texas law ruled that any possible legal case against him, which might include obstruction charges, was to be handled independently. The officers, if they thought he had committed another crime, would have to get a warrant to enter his house. Not getting a warrant not only nullified their own legality in the action, but further raised serious questions of unlawful detention and breaking the rights accorded to the driver.
You have the rest of your day? Okay. So,
You still rolling?
Yeah, I'm still rolling. I'm about to transport him.
Oh, yeah.
So, I didn't get a chance to check him for weapons or anything. He did somehow manage to get his cuffs up in front of him. He was that skinny. So.
But you want me to follow you to the jail? Or should we pull him out and search him?
I wanted to pull him out, search him in case he does have a weapon, because I don't think you checked him.
Nah, I didn't get a chance.
Like so, did you tell him, hey, stop or anything like that?
Yeah, it was like, hey, get back, stay where you're at. And he kept walking towards me. Kept walking towards me, getting in my face, and I was like, I backed up because I don't want someone this close to me.
Okay.
I was backing up, and then when I was like, okay, this is starting to get out of hand, that's when I called for you.
Hi.
He wouldn't give me his ID, he wouldn't give me his driver's license, he wouldn't give me his proof of insurance. He held it up, so I wrote down the number, and that's how I got it. No.
You got anything legal on you? Any weapons or anything like that?
Questions.
Step out. Come on.
I'm trying, goddammit. Work's done. Lucky you. Turn around for me. I don't consent to any search or seizures of my property or person.
Okay, we don't need consent.
No.
You're under arrest, sir.
For what? You haven't told me that
For
yet.
your warrant?
For what warrant,
For evading.
asshole? Evading what, motherfucker? Evading what, motherfucker? Evading what arrest, you piece of shit?
Alright, go ahead.
Evading what f***ing arrest, motherfucker? Which one?
The scene unfolds with increasing tension as the driver is asked by the officers whether he has anything illegal on him. The driver, already agitated, responds with frustration, denying any wrongdoing. His irritation builds as he attempts to clarify his situation and questions the legitimacy of the police's actions. At this point, the officers are trying to take control of the situation, and as tensions rise, one of the officers attempts to detain the driver. The driver, however, continues to insist that he does not consent to any search or seizure of his person or property. Despite this declaration, the officers proceed, asserting that they do not require consent as the driver is now under arrest. The reason for the arrest, according to the officers, is an outstanding warrant for evading arrest, which the driver vehemently disputes. He demands to know what he is being accused of evading, but his demands go unanswered, further escalating his anger and confusion.
An arrest must have probable cause to believe the person is inside the residence and must still follow proper warrant procedures.
Alright, let me get it. You have his driver's license stuff?
Yeah. Alright, cool. There's keys.
So yeah, follow me to the jail.
For what, asshole?
I already told you. Follow me to the jail in case something happens on the way there. And I guess I'll just get jail step out.
There is an evident ambiguity in the interaction, as no clear reference to a warrant is made during the exchange, raising legal questions about the arrest. Even if a pre-existing warrant had existed, officers would still be required to follow proper legal procedures and establish probable cause before making an arrest. The officers then direct the driver to follow them to jail, with one officer stating that the purpose is to ensure that nothing happens along the way. The legality of such actions comes into question, especially after the officers had already issued a citation. By law, officers have the authority to control the situation during a traffic stop for safety reasons, but this authority ends once the ticket is issued, at which point the stop should conclude. Legal protocols dictate that once a ticket is given, the officers are no longer permitted to remain on the property without further consent. If there had been an intention to arrest the driver for evading or any other charge, It should have been done before issuing the citation. Additionally, while officers are not always required to disclose a warrant immediately, often to prevent suspects from fleeing, the stop cannot be unnecessarily prolonged. Cases like United States versus Zapata Lopez from 2010 have scrutinized such police tactics to ensure compliance with Fourth Amendment protections. Following the issuance of the ticket, the officer's decision to enter the driver's home without clear justification or a warrant raises significant concerns. Without a valid legal reason, this action may have violated the driver's rights, as officers must obtain a warrant or have a justifiable cause before prolonging a stop or entering someone's property. These incidents range from location settings to different occurrences and are only a clear example of the intricate engagement of law enforcement with civilians, raising critical legal and ethical debate. Sure enough, from George Nathanson filming an investigation in Florida, all the way to a tense traffic stop in Texas, both scenarios exemplify repeated issues of individual rights, police power, and possible abuse of authority. In the Nathanson case, the main issue is on the question of the right to video record police under the First Amendment and limitations in terms of the power of law enforcers over such an activity. Nathanson's case gives rise to overreaching by Deputy Rasasi by acting in a way to control the scene by restraining Nathanson because his effort at controlling the situation went a step further in escalating what was otherwise a peaceful situation. While the body camera footage directly contradicts Rasasi's argument, it only highlights that the single most critical significance of transparency in policing has been underscored here. The Nathanson case will determine fully just how much rights infringement went down and whether Rasasi's conduct was justified under the circumstances. On the same note, the Texas traffic stop exemplifies the problems as far as the Fourth Amendment protections against unreasonable searches and seizures are concerned. The police officer's actions in extending detention, entering the driver's residence without a warrant, and then trying to justify their presence on the basis of a fairly minor traffic infraction raise such legal questions. Again, when they issued a ticket, the officers extended the engagement with the driver again, adding unnecessary tension to what already was a tense situation in which their legal right to remain appeared doubtful. These two incidents represent the precarious balance that public safety must be measured by against constitutional rights. The outcomes of these cases will undoubtedly affect what further discussions about limitations on police power and civil liberties in routine encounters with the law are made. As the courts continue to scrutinize these events, they remind the public of the continuing importance of open rules, process clarity, and accountability in policing strategies.
Demonstrating that at times, it's the officers who may find themselves in challenging situations due to their actions and decisions. In the first scenario, the encounter began with a police officer approaching an individual who was openly recording their actions. The officer immediately demanded the person's ID and date of birth, which raised questions about the officer's motivations. The individual, keenly aware of their rights, declined to provide this personal information, explaining that they were protected by their right to privacy. Despite the individual's polite and respectful demeanor, the officer continued to press for their ID and date of birth. However, the individual remained steadfast, maintaining that their right to privacy and not incriminating themselves were fundamental rights.
Lower your camera. You're welcome to videotape me, but civilians don't have to be videotaped.
We'll see when your supervisor gets here. Why you keep approaching me?
He's heading out into traffic. I'm going to have to detain him if he heads out into traffic.
As the interaction unfolded, the individual informed the officer that they were live streaming the encounter to an audience of thousands. This transparency was a powerful tool in ensuring accountability and preventing any potential misuse of authority. The situation grew increasingly tense when the officer threatened to arrest the individual for not complying with their demands. The individual's response was assertive, stating that they hadn't committed any wrongdoing and accusing the officer of attempting to retaliate against them for their previous words or actions. During this exchange, the individual drew attention to the officer's aggressive body language and refusal to provide a clear reason for the stop, making it evident that they were well prepared to stand up for their rights. In the end, the officer decided to issue a ticket to the individual, who allowed it to fly away symbolically. This action underlined the individual's commitment to defending their rights and the assertion that any arrest would jeopardize the officer's qualified immunity. In another case, the encounter began with a police officer pulling over a motorist. The officer's tone and attitude were immediately unwelcoming and unprofessional, setting a negative tone for the interaction. The motorist, understandably uncomfortable with the officer's behavior, requested to know the reason for the stop. However, the officer failed to provide a clear explanation. The lack of transparency in the officer's demeanor raised concerns for the motorist, who sought clarity and respectful treatment during the encounter. The situation took a troubling turn when the officer reportedly called the motorist a loser, an unprofessional and derogatory remark. Although not captured on camera, the motorist asserted that this name-calling had occurred. The officer vehemently denied using such language. As the exchange continued, the motorist took the initiative to request a supervisor's presence, believing that a higher-ranking officer might bring a more reasonable perspective to the situation. However, the officer's conduct escalated as he insisted on detaining the motorist for filming near the police vehicle, even though this was within the individual's rights. A disagreement ensued about the legality of such actions, with the motorist citing the law that requires officers to identify themselves upon lawful request. This further fueled the tension between the two parties. The interaction became more intense with the arrival of another police vehicle, which was initially assumed to be a supervisor. However, the original officer continued to harass the motorist, asserting that filming was illegal. Ultimately, the situation ended when additional officers provided their names and badge numbers. The original officer left the scene, but not before an uncomfortable and confrontational interaction had taken place. In another event, the encounter involved a police officer who had pulled over an individual. The officer promptly requested the individual's driver's license, but the individual questioned the reason for the stop.
Driver's license, proof insurance.
What'd I do?
I'll get your driver's license and I'll explain to you.
I'm working on it. No, what'd I do first? Why you pull me over?
Get your driver's license.
No, what did you pull me over for? Tell me that first.
Sir, let me explain something to you.
And what's your, I know the law. No, you have to tell me why you pull me over.
I don't have to tell you.
This simple inquiry was met with an unwillingness to provide a clear response. The situation escalated when the officer attempted to physically remove the individual from their vehicle. This action was particularly troubling as it seemed to be a disproportionate use of force, given the circumstances. The tension further increased when the officer threatened to use a taser. This threat was a significant escalation in the encounter and was perceived as unwarranted by the individual. Despite the mounting pressure, the individual remained resolute in their refusal to comply with what they believed to be an unjustified use of authority. The individual argued that there was no valid reason for the stop, underlining their determination to uphold their rights and question the actions of the officer. This led to a standstill, with both parties firmly holding their ground. Eventually, the officer decided to issue a ticket to the individual, who chose not to escalate the situation further and accepted the ticket. In another case, an individual was driving their vehicle on a public road when they were pulled over by a police officer. The officer's initial reason for the stop was unclear, as they did not immediately inform the driver of the violation or the purpose of the stop. This lack of transparency was a source of frustration for the driver. Upon approaching the vehicle, the officer demanded the driver's identification and registration. The driver, fully aware of their rights, inquired about the reason for the stop before complying with the officer's requests. They were seeking a clear explanation of the violation that led to the stop. The encounter took a troubling turn when the officer asked the driver if they had any drugs or weapons in the vehicle. This question raised concerns about an unwarranted search and seizure, as the officer had not established probable cause or provided a legitimate reason for the inquiry. The driver, upholding their rights, refused to consent to a search of their vehicle. They questioned the officer's motives and insisted that the officer should first explain the reason for the stop and any potential violation before proceeding further. This principled stand underscored the driver's commitment to safeguarding their Fourth Amendment rights against unreasonable searches and seizures. The officer's continued insistence on searching the vehicle, despite the absence of probable cause, escalated the situation. The driver firmly maintained that the officer needed to respect their constitutional rights. Despite the tense exchange, the driver's commitment to their rights prevailed. The officer eventually decided to issue a citation for a minor traffic violation, concluding the encounter without a search of the vehicle.
That's their proposal, and it comes after both Oklahoma and Florida passed laws that could punish people for posting videos online that include officers' personal information. Valerie Castro now with the push to restrict recordings.
In another case, an individual was peacefully exercising their First Amendment rights by recording a public demonstration in a city park. The demonstration involved a group of activists protesting a local issue. The person recording, hereafter referred to as the filmer, was not directly participating in the protest, but was there to document the event as a concerned citizen and amateur journalist. As the filmer was capturing footage of the protest with their camera, a police officer approached and questioned their presence. The officer's inquiry revolved around the reason for filming and demanded identification. The filmer, aware of their rights, calmly explained that they were exercising their First Amendment rights by documenting a public event and did not need to provide identification unless there was reasonable suspicion of criminal activity. The officer continued to press the filmer for identification, even suggesting that filming the protest might be construed as suspicious behavior. The filmer stood their ground, emphasizing that the act of recording in a public space was protected by the First Amendment. It also reminded the officer that no reasonable suspicion existed to warrant an ID check. As the interaction continued, a second officer arrived on the scene. The two officers briefly conferred, seemingly discussing the legality of the situation. Despite their initial skepticism, they eventually acknowledged the filmer's right to record the protest and refrained from providing identification. The 5 cases presented collectively underscore the paramount importance of understanding and asserting one's rights when encountering law enforcement officers. Regardless of the specific circumstances, these cases highlight the significance of individual knowledge, composure, and assertiveness in upholding constitutional rights and ensuring transparency and accountability in law enforcement interactions. One overarching lesson from these cases is that knowledge of one's rights is a powerful tool in safeguarding individual freedoms. These rights include the Fourth Amendment's protection against unreasonable searches and seizures, the Fifth Amendment's right to remain silent and have an attorney present during interrogations, and the First Amendment's guarantee of freedom of speech and the right to record public events. These rights are the foundation of a just and democratic society and serve as essential safeguards against potential abuses of power. Furthermore, these cases illustrate the diverse contexts in which these rights may be exercised, from traffic stops and police interrogations to documenting public events and protests. Individuals must be prepared to assert their rights under various circumstances. In each case, the individuals displayed a remarkable ability to remain composed, confident, and informed, thereby ensuring that their rights were respected.